Rousseau's collective will, a democratic ideal. Jean-Jacques Rousseau's concept of the general will stands as a cornerstone of modern democratic theory. It offers a radical departure from individualistic philosophies that dominated much of Western thought. This idea emphasizes the collective good over individual desires, shaping our understanding of legitimate political authority. Rousseau posited that humans are inherently good in the state of nature. However, society corrupts individuals, leading to inequality and the pursuit of selfish interests. This corruption necessitates a new social order based on a different principle. To escape this corrupted state, individuals must enter into a social contract. This contract involves surrendering their individual wills to the general will. This is not a surrender to another person, but to a collective entity. The general will is not simply the sum of individual wills or the will of the majority. It represents the common interest and the good of the whole community. It is a moral and rational force aimed at the well-being of all citizens. The general will is always right, but the judgment that guides it is not always enlightened. It is the role of the legislator to help the people see the common good. This requires careful consideration and a commitment to the well-being of all. The general will is not a static entity. It evolves as society evolves. It requires constant vigilance and active participation from citizens. It is a dynamic process, not a fixed outcome. Individualism emphasizes individual rights, freedoms, and self-interest. It prioritizes the autonomy and independence of the individual. This philosophy often sees the role of government as protecting individual liberties. The general will demands the subordination of personal desires to the collective good. This can lead to a conflict with individualistic values. Individuals may experience a potential loss of autonomy. Laws and policies derived from the general will may not always align with individual preferences. This can create tension between the individual and the state. It raises questions about the limits of individual freedom. The tension between individual rights and the collective good is a central theme in political philosophy. Rousseau's concept of the general will forces us to confront this tension directly. It challenges us to consider the balance between individual liberty and social responsibility. Consider individual liberties versus the needs of the community. Public health measures, such as mandatory vaccinations, often require individuals to sacrifice some personal freedom for the sake of public safety. This is a clear example of the general will in action. Environmental regulations also illustrate this conflict. Restrictions on pollution or resource extraction may limit individual economic activity. However, they serve the broader interest of protecting the environment for future generations. Taxation is another example. Individuals may not want to pay taxes, but taxes are necessary to fund public services. These services benefit the entire community, reflecting the general will. Rousseau's concept of the general will provides a philosophical foundation for popular sovereignty. This is the idea that the people are the ultimate source of political authority. Government derives its legitimacy from the consent of the governed. The general will suggest that the people, acting collectively, have the right to determine their own destiny. This principle has been influential in shaping democratic movements around the world. It emphasizes the importance of self-governance and citizen participation. Popular sovereignty is not simply about majority rule. It is about the people collectively pursuing the common good. This requires a commitment to deliberation, compromise, and mutual respect. Rousseau emphasizes the importance of citizens actively engaging in the political process. Citizens must participate to understand and shape the general will. This participation goes beyond simply voting in elections. It involves engaging in public discourse, debating policy issues, and holding elected officials accountable. Active citizenship is essential for a healthy democracy. It ensures that the government remains responsive to the needs of the people. Civic participation also requires education and access to information. Citizens must be informed about the issues facing their community. They must be able to critically evaluate different perspectives. The general will highlights the need for laws and institutions that promote the common good. Government should serve the interests of the entire community. This requires a focus on social justice, equality, and the well-being of all citizens. Policies should be designed to benefit the most vulnerable members of society. This includes providing access to education, healthcare, and other essential services. The common good requires a commitment to social solidarity. Promoting the common good also involves protecting the environment and ensuring sustainable development. Future generations must have access to the same resources and opportunities as the present generation. This requires a long-term perspective and a willingness to make sacrifices in the short term. Determining the general will is a complex and challenging task. It requires careful deliberation, education, and a commitment to the common good. It is not simply a matter of taking a poll or conducting a referendum. It requires creating a space for open and honest dialogue. Citizens must be able to express their views without fear of reprisal. They must be willing to listen to opposing viewpoints. Education plays a crucial role in shaping the general will. Citizens must be informed about the issues facing their community. They must be able to critically evaluate different perspectives. The general will is susceptible to manipulation. Powerful interests may attempt to distort public opinion. They may use propaganda or misinformation to advance their own agendas. The suppression of minority interests is another potential threat. The majority may impose its will on the minority, even if it is not in the common good. This can lead to injustice and resentment. It is essential to protect the rights of minorities and ensure that their voices are heard. The general will must be inclusive and representative of all members of society. This requires a commitment to diversity and tolerance. Rousseau's concept of the general will remains a vital framework for understanding democratic governance. It highlights the delicate balance between individual rights and the collective good. It emphasizes the need for active citizen participation. The challenges of applying the general will in practice are significant. However, the concept provides a valuable ideal to strive for. It reminds us that democracy is not simply about individual freedom. It is also about collective responsibility and the pursuit of the common good. Rousseau's ideas continue to resonate with those who seek a more just and equitable society. His work challenges us to think critically about the nature of democracy and the role of the citizen. Rousseau's concept of the general will is complex but essential for understanding democratic ideals. It requires a delicate balance between individual rights and the collective good. It is a concept that continues to shape political thought and inspire democratic movements around the world.